Now from SRV Studios, Mr. Craig Thatcher.
Sorry, baby, you'll have to go. Well, you've been messing around. Seems I'm the very last to know. Goodbye, baby. Sure gonna miss you when you're gone. To find me a new love, one who won't treat me so very wrong. I bought you a new house up on a hill. If only you'd be true to me, we'd be living and loving there still. But baby, baby, you know I miss you now that you're gone. Trying to find a true love, one who won't treat me so very wrong. It's over, you're in the past. Now I'm on a prowl again, looking for love that's gonna last. Baby, baby, you know I miss you when I'm alone. Never forgive you for breaking up our happy home.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Schuylkill River Valley for Sidetrack Sunday number 1 for September of 2025. Good to see everyone tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's see who's here. We got a bunch of people in here. So, Stephen from Wigwag Workshop was first in. Good to see you, Stephen. And there's Slycat, Chesapeake and Ohio Railways. Been a while since I've seen you, Slycat. Hope you're doing well. Let's see, Bob from PK Model Works. Good to see you, Bob. Let's see, there's Dave from the Carolina Foothills Railway. Good to see you, Dave. And Dwight stopped in, although he might already be asleep. Let's see who else we got here. And JD, Grandpa Rails. Good to see you, JD. So I missed GRE 2057. Good to see you. Hot Dog Pilot Andy. Certainly appreciate you stopping by, Andy. I know you're keeping the eyes open with some toothpicks about this time. Let's see. James from the Dundas Junction Model Railroad. Good to see you, James. Glad you can make it. And there's Alan from the Mason-Dixon Railroad. Good to see you, Alan. Hope you're well. Let's see. I said hi to Andy. Ray Burleson. Good to see you, Mr. Ray. Glad you could make it. Chuck Schreiber. Glad to see you. And there's Lynn McCurdy and the HD MMRC. Good to see you, Lynn. Ray Boble, another Sidetrack Sunday guy. Let's see, we got Anthony Dodge from the Model Train Outsider. Good to see Anthony. And we got JP from the Beaumont Hill Subdivision. Good to see you, JP. Tom Gracie, good to see you. Glad you can make it. Let's see, Joe Rader, Black Rock Central Railroad. Good to see you, Joe. Just jumped on me there. There's Stormy Sky Rail Productions. Good to see you, Stormy Sky. Derail Darrell. Hey, Darrell, good to see you, man. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. There's Todd Armstrong. Good to see you, Todd. Okay, who else do we have here? Oh, there's Dwight again. I guess you're still awake, Dwight. Good to see you. And there's Pappy from Try Goggling. Good to see you, Pappy. Glad you could make it in, man. Dave from BNSF N-Scale. Good to see you, Dave. Michael Schuster. Glad you could make it, Michael. Good to see you. And Mike, the rail artist. Always good to see you, Mike. Let's see. And made it to the bottom of the list. I think I got everybody. If I didn't, I apologize. And welcome to everybody. There's Sly Cat. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so excuse me. So last month, I started on trying to recreate a Pennsylvania road. For those of us who have been on Pennsylvania roads, you know that they are pretty cracked and broken and full of potholes. And that's kind of what I'm going for this this diorama. It is actually a real or a recreation of a real scene, so should have a real Pennsylvania road. Anyhow, I started with a technique I saw on Boomer Diorama's channel using what's it called here? Crackle paste from Liquid Text. Yeah, right. No, they're actually, that's what they call them, roads, but they really aren't. And Boomer got some excellent results, especially along the edges with the cracking and the spider cracking around the potholes, and Boomer really got excellent results with it. So I figured, I'm gonna give it a try. So you guys who were here last month saw what I did, and I followed Boomer's lead, and it looked good until it dried. And as soon as I picked the board up to move it, almost all of the crackle paste that I had put on just fell right off. I didn't even have to touch it. So the little bit that I did manage to hang on. In England, they drive on the left side of the road. In the U.S., we drive on what's left of the road. Good point, right? Yep, you can always tell by the road when crossing from Maryland to PA. You're right, Alan. So I scraped off the little bit that did manage to stick on there. And I think what the problem is Boomer was putting this crackle paste directly on. I think it was either OSB or fiberboard or something. Where most of what I was putting on was on top of plaster. And what I'm thinking is the plaster sucked the water out of the moisture out of the crackle paste too quick, and that's why it didn't cure properly. At least I'm hoping that's what the problem is. So I'm going to give it a try again tonight. See if we can get better results this time. But what I'm going to do is I have a pot of water here, and I'm going to wet down the plaster a good bit before I put the crackle paste on it, and I'm hoping that will slow the drying down enough for this to work. If not, I guess I'll have to find another method. But I really did like what Boomer did, so I'd like to give this a try. Yep, one more time. Absolutely, Dave. So it's always worth one more time. Anybody that's been in this hobby long enough, you know that things don't always work out your first attempt. So if you folks will give me just a moment here. Said you didn't want to... right, I don't want to seal the plaster with paint. Right. Bob, if I absolutely have to, I will maybe seal it with a dull coat or a clear coat of some sort. But I'd rather not. I like the taco paste. I like the plaster absorbing the paint. It gives more depth of color, and I like the effect. So I'm gonna be a little hard-headed and try and make it work without sealing it. So if you give me just a moment here and let me set my desk up, and I'll be right back. Okay, Ray, can you wet the plaster, then apply the crack? That's exactly what I'm going to try and do tonight. Ray. Hopefully, hopefully this will work. Well, Andy, you don't have to chat just amongst yourself. There's other people here I'm sure will chat with you. Okay, so. Yep, time will tell. You're right. Now let's see here. I don't know. You can see some of it. See, some of it's still coming off here. The stuff that I put right onto the press board. Anthony always chats amongst himself. All right, Anthony. So do I, but I don't usually admit that to people. Well, I guess it doesn't look too bad on camera. It looks a lot worse in person. Some of it were usually where I put it right on top of the press board. It actually stuck and looks really good. When I get some paint on there, I think it'll be great. But like spots here, all along here where I put it right onto the plaster, that's where it came off. And I just think the plaster is pretty thirsty stuff. And I think that's what did me in. Maybe it doesn't look good compared to Boomer's results. Well, okay, I can agree with that, Bob. But hey, I'm not going to be outdone by Boomer. Come on now. So let me get my thing here. All right, so that's just. Like I said, I think the plaster being so thirsty, just this crackle paste is acrylic, so I think it just pulled the moisture out too quick for it to properly set up. So let's see, double the product for new techniques. Lots of experimenting first. Absolutely. Hey, that's what model railroading is all about. So I think I'm going to go back, put this on nice and thin like I did before. And the other change I'm going to make is I'm not going to play with it as much. And I'm not sure what that would have done, but sounds like a good idea anyhow. So this is that crackle paste. It's, like I said, it's just an acrylic. It was on very easily. Unfortunately, it came off very easily too. Looks like San Bernardino roads. Well, I'll have to take your word for it, JP. I've never been to San Bernardino and don't expect to ever be there. Paper towel here. If the way it's going down is any indication, I think this might be the solution, because it's definitely going down a whole lot easier. It's I don't even feel the need to play with it as much as I did last month. So this is all part of the risk of doing this stuff live. Although I guess I could have fixed it since last month and never admitted that to you, but since we've all been there, we've all had to redo things, I figured why not? Adam Cruz, good to see you, Adam. Glad you could make it. Hope you're doing well. You're over there sorting mini prints, huh? Good point, JP. There's no learning if you hide the missteps. And I've always believed that, you know, you learn the most from your mistakes, and if you're smart, you learn even more from other people's mistakes. Let's see. If it's an acrylic paste, it can be thin with a few drops of water for easy application. Thanks, Todd. I imagine it could be. Not sure if that would be a benefit or not. Though it's pretty thick, but it's very smooth. It goes on really very easily, especially now that I wet the plaster first. Let's see, Adam's gearing up for the Colorado RPM and Mini PB lid thingy. Cool, Adam. Oh yeah, this is definitely going on much better this time. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I expect better results this time. When I was putting this on the last month, part of the reason that I was Alan, this is it's going to be the cracking in the asphalt. This will be end up being an asphalt road, and especially along the edges, there'll be a lot of cracking. And right in this section here is where the bridge is going to go. So with the water sitting under the bridge and not evaporating as quickly as the rest of it, there's always a lot more cracking. And this road is kind of an outlying road in King of Prussia, so it never got the best attention. So there was always a good bit of cracking. I don't think so. I don't think it's too big, Bob. That's what Boomer was doing, was HO, and it was. I thought it was a good scale effect. There'll be a little bit more cracking. Let's see. You can probably see right here. There's a pothole. Here, there's a little pothole. There's a pothole over here. There'll be a little bit more cracking, like the spider cracking around potholes, at least that we get here in Pennsylvania. So there'll be a little bit more there. Hey, Rusty, good to see you, man. Yeah, you know, I did think of that about coloring the paste first. I did think of that, Dave. Boomer didn't in the what he did, and I decided I'm going to follow his techniques pretty closely, even as far as the colors he used and the technique. If you've ever watched any of Boomer's painting and weathering, he does them in washes. I think he calls them filters. Very thin, and layers them. And like I said, I really liked the effect he got on the one video I watched. He was doing an extension on one of the roads on his layout, and boy, the road just looked so much like this road that I'm doing here that I decided I had to give it a try. We'll see. This is only the second attempt. Hopefully there won't be a third, but if there is, so be it. So this is the pothole. So I'm going to put it on a little thicker. And according to Boomer, the thinner you put the paste on, the finer the cracking will be. So along the edges there, I put the crackle paste on a little bit thinner, and here is I'm put it on a little bit thicker because around a pothole the cracking would be a lot more pronounced. And Ray's not sure which is larger, a road crack or a plumber's crack. Well, some of the cracks here in Pennsylvania, I really hope they're the bigger ones. Yeah, I agree, Anthony. He's either got small roads or big plumbers. So yeah, this is definitely going on so much smoother than it was last time. Like I was starting to say, part of the reason that I was playing with it so much is it wasn't leveling out, wasn't sitting down as much as I wanted it to. This is definitely working out better. So I have high hopes. Is John making crack again? Yeah, I'm not going to touch that, Rusty. Is it cracking yet? Not yet. It doesn't crack until it dries, Alan. When I did it last month, even after the show, for a while after the show, it was still perfectly smooth. Really wasn't until the next day that I saw any cracking. But like I said, it looked great until I picked the thing up and it all fell off. Time for a heat gun. I don't think so, Bob. I mean, that might work, but since I'm kind of leaning towards it drying too quickly, the last time I don't think I want to mess with it. Does it make noise like Rice Krispies? It would have been very small Rice Krispies, Dave, and probably too small for me to hear. We want instant results. Yeah, Alan, so do I. But one thing this hobby forces you to learn is patience. Not something I've ever been very good at. So you had plumbers so big you don't know how they work in their crawl space, huh? Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of them. when I last time when I did it, I made it a point to wait. I was at least probably 18 hours before I actually moved it. So it certainly would have been fully dried by then. So I don't think I got impatient. Where'd my paper towel go? Is that a cracking noise you hear? You guys are nuts. And we're just about finished here. I was going to start on the hillsides, but I don't really want to mess with this after I get this stuff down. And besides, it'll be a whole lot easier to paint and weather the roads if I don't have the hillside in the way. Hey, David, DB Tech, good to see you, man. Thanks, Bob. Might be a requisite for a live stream demo, but does make it a little boring for you guys if I'm not talking. John 7, good for you. Good to see it, man. Not sure what it is, but it looks delicious. You know what? It doesn't have much of a smell, so I don't know. It's called crackle paste, and this is to apply to create some cracking on the sides of the roads, the asphalt. The road is pretty straight. It's called Crooked Lane because actually on either side of this diorama it is pretty crooked, but this section under the bridge is pretty straight. Trackside Mike, good to see you, man. Glad you can make it in. Alright, so and I think I want to get a little bit more in here since this is right under the bridge. And this is Steve 87th. Peace up. Good to see you, Steve. Since this is right under the center of the bridge, and like I said, this is where the rainwater and runoff water wouldn't be evaporating too quickly. Let's see. I just want to fill this in a little bit more so I can get hopefully get some decent cracking in here. Deep Run Mike, good to see you, man. Glad you can make it in. Oh, Kutztown train meet next Saturday. I'm going to write that down right now, David. I might make it there. Artie's here? I didn't see Artie come in. Did I miss Artie? If I did, good to see you. If I didn't, well then, good to see you anyhow, I guess. Or good to not see you. That Kutztown train show, David, is that at the Renninger's Market where it usually is? John Train, BFGR. Good to see you, John. Appreciate you coming in. All right, Adam. Good to see you, man. If you make it back, great. Oh, okay. Artie's not here. All right. All right, so I think I'm going to stop playing with it and just set it aside and let it dry. Yes, Renninger's, outside, no admission. Awesome, David, thank you. I'll clean off the top of my container, which is critical with this kind of stuff, because I learned that the hard way. I was using a similar, not this stuff, but a similar product from Liquitex, and I guess I didn't get it cleaned off very well, and it glued it shut. So let's see. Derek Alexander, good to see you, man. Glad you can make it. Let's see. Somebody said Sparky 3 times, so maybe he'll show up. All right, if you folks will give me just a moment, and I will put this stuff to the side and bring my main camera back up. Mystic John, you have a question. What would that be, sir? All right. So, what I'm going to do is, obviously, I'm going to let that dry. And, oh, John, that's cool. You guys had a cool train show. Very cool. Obviously, I'm going to let it dry. And carefully move it next time. And assuming that my theory is correct, if I have to, I'll hit it with a clear coat before I start painting. If not, well, we'll see what happens. like I said, I was going to start on, let's see, if I have an area of pink foam which will have static grass and dirt, should I do the static grass first, or can I do the static grass on top of the dirt? I would do the dirt first and put the static grass on top of it, and then possibly sprinkle a little bit of dirt on top of the static grass to help it sit down in. Depends on how thick you're going for the grass. But yeah, I would definitely put the grass down first. And I'm a little pedantic with that kind of stuff. I would actually paint the pink foam a brown before I even put the dirt down on it. Just for when you're putting in trees or end up digging into the dirt at any point, you don't end up with the pink showing through, or at least you have to dig further to get to the pink. All right, and folks, don't forget there's another meet and greet coming up in just over a month. That's at down at Timonium. It's the meet and greet that Ray puts on every year. And Ray just posted a link to a Google form for you to sign up so he can get a good idea of who's coming, and so he can make sure he can plan for it. Okay, yeah, JP agrees, paint first. And you're quite welcome, John. And yes, Darrell agrees, dirt first, then grass. And yeah, I think we got everybody. So like I said, I was going to start on the hillside. It's just the hillside is just the width of the tracks, so it drops down, and this is prototypical, and it drops down, fairly steeply on either side. But like I said, it would be easier to paint and weather the road and everything. Let's see, yeah, trackside Mike. Dirt is underneath the grass. Well, I've been doing it wrong. Plaster, paint, dirt, grass, towel, naked girl. There you go, Dirk. Some apply grass, then paint the entire thing black and bring color back slowly with filters. Yes, I've seen that technique. I like to put the dirt, the grass. I don't paint everything black, but I will go over the grass with an airbrush with effectively filters or washes through an airbrush, just to kind of blend everything together. And let's see, Bob likes Derek's playing better. Yeah, I think most of us do here, Bob. So what I'm going to do is for the peak of the hill, if you will, right under the tracks, I'm just going to put in some styrofoam, and I'll probably end up using Andy's idea is the best technique is to get somebody else to do it. Yeah, but the fun is in screwing it up, Andy. But I'll probably end up just using the white foam under there because I won't be digging into it. And I have a bunch of the white foam laying around, so I just as soon get rid of it this way. But then the hillsides itself, I'll be using cardboard lattice and plaster cloth. And then sculpt the mold on top of it. Now, when I do sculpt the mold, I always tint that first. I pick up, I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know the brand name, but it's a tint for concrete. Just picked it up at either Lowe's or Home Depot or one of them. And he says he screwed up so much stuff, he has his own thread. But it just comes in a little 8-ounce bottle, I guess. It's a liquid, and you pour it in with your concrete, and it comes in a number of colors, and I of course pick a dark brown because I'm going for dirt here. But when I first bought it, I wasn't sure if I was gonna continue to use it, because it's not overly expensive, but the little 8-ounce bottle was I think it was about $6 or $8, and I wasn't sure how far it was going to go. Well, that little 8-ounce bottle goes, when you're putting it in the plaster or in the sculpting mold, it goes pretty far. I usually mix in about into a quart of water. I mix it in about 50 cc's, just a tiny little cup's worth. So the thing lasts quite a while, and it does give a really deep brown. So I will be doing that, and I definitely like to do that, and that's definitely for planting trees. Just so that when you dig into the yeah, you're right, Ray. The little bit goes a really long way. But when you're digging into the hillside to plant trees, and there's going to be quite a few trees on here. If you don't do that, then you end up getting the white plaster and coming up, and it doesn't look terribly prototypical. So I like to do that. This way, if I do pull up any of the plaster from the sculpting mold, it's brown, and it just looks like dirt. So, yeah, same with the powder tints for concrete and grout. Yeah, I know there were powder tints. Just the one I picked up was in a liquid form, and I've done that. I've done that on both my layouts, my HO scale layout, which I really haven't gotten to in quite a while, and I've also done it on the N scale layout. Would acrylic work to tint it? I'm sure it would, Alan. Probably need a lot more of the acrylic to tint it than you do of this stuff. This stuff is highly concentrated, and I figured it was a better choice because it's made to work with concrete. And if it's strong enough to tint the concrete, it's certainly strong enough to tint the plaster. But that said, I've never tried. JP mixes in an earth color latex paint, so sure, acrylic I'm sure would work. This is just. I happened to be in Lowe's or Home Depot and walked past the salt, and I thought, hey, I'll give this a try. And I like the way it works, so I stuck with it. So really, that's about all I have for tonight, folks. I knew this wasn't going to take very long, but yeah, it's like so much else in this hobby is get a certain step done and then wait for a day for it to dry. And I really don't have anything else that I can work on with this diorama until I get the road done. I don't want to put the bridge down, put the wing walls down for the bridge yet or anything. So. And Ray says, yes, acrylic works also when mixing with the plaster. Okay, I'm sure it would. So I haven't re-poured the bridge yet. I'm going to. This is. Let's see. Here's where the date is supposed to be chiseled into the side. All right, Bob. Yeah, that Quonset Hut diner it's a cool diner. I do wish I had the room for it on this layout, but it would just make the diorama itself too big. James, I don't have cameras set up where I have trains set up. Okay, layout update. I've done very little bit on the HO layout. Every once in a while, I get the itch to go in there, and James even showing us the layout. Like I said, I don't have a camera in there. I'm not set up here to use my phone, which I could do, but I'm going through OBS, so I would have had to set that up ahead of time. And these cables, nothing's going to reach to either one. One of these shows, though, I will get the camera set up. The other problem is right now I can't even really get into the training room. One of the problems with my business is all the clients, all the tax returns for the clients and everything are kept in folders, of course. But each year, each folder grows by about a ½ inch thick, which means every year it's reorganizing the filing cabinets and pulling out stuff that I don't need anymore. Yeah, you do that, James. Keep reminding me. And that's kind of a pain in the neck, but it's something that's got to be done. So what I do is I get this cardboard, thick, heavy-duty cardboard file boxes. Put the files in there, sort them out, and like I said, clear out what isn't needed, add in the new tax year, and then put them back actually in the filing cabinet. Time to buy a scanner and get an intern to scan it all. Bob, it's almost not necessary. Yeah, you're right, James. Trains, no taxes. I wish, man. My tax program stores the information. It actually stores the forms, and I could print out a copy anytime I need it. Hey, Frank, Steeler Fan 820. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Some of it is I'm a creature of habit, and this is the way that we've always done this. The other thing is there are times when my staff will need files that I have here, or I need files that they have there. So being able to just hand a folder with everything in it in one spot is more convenient. And there is IRS is there was a time when I was required to keep paper copies. The IRS would require it. I'm not required to do so anymore, although they really do prefer it. So, okay, James' wife had to scan 197 files for donations taxes. Yep, I understand, man. And I mean, like I said, the tax returns themselves are stored in the computer, and I can print it out any time. Our notes and stuff like that. I have a scanner sitting right next to me. I can scan it. But and then it also comes down to what's cheaper, doing this once where it doesn't really take me all that time when I decide to actually sit down and do it, or paying my staff to stand there and scan files in. It probably works out to about the same. But Darryl loves shredding paper. Darryl, I have a ton of paper. Years ago, my father, he was taking all the old tax returns home. and he was storing them in his basement. And he had stuffed them into manila envelopes and stuffed the manila envelopes into these file boxes so tight. They were almost fused together. And when he went to move out of the house, and I went down into that basement and saw the amount of paper that he kept and never. Actually, yes, I have used the shredding to build scenery. I made a sculptor mold out of it, Bob. So at least it's not like the old days when it was boxing. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Derek. It's definitely gotten better. So anyhow, I keep the questions coming. There you go, James. So after giving my father hell for storing these, oh God, it had to be 60 boxes of files, jam packed. So after giving him hell for saving them all these years, because I mean this stuff was going back, much further than needed to. So anyhow, my son-in-law was always, he had a chimney out in his backyard, and he had a fire going. Rodney, thank you, sir. Good to see you, man. And he had a chimney, and he always had a fire going, and he had a campsite that they would go to, and he would have I'll get back to that. Mike, the HO layout is way too small, which is part of the problem, which is a little tough for me to get motivated to work on. But the room it's like 9 by 11, and I mean, yes, I know you can put a nice switching layout or something in something that size, but that's really not what I'm looking for. So it's just really too small. The N scale layout is just a hollow core door. So it's 28 by, I cut a little bit off. It's not quite 80. It's not quite 6'8". I think it's 6 foot. I think it's 28 inches by 6 feet. Not quite that bad, John. So that's the size of the two layouts. The HO layout, I would really like it to be so much bigger. All right, Andy. I guess those toothpicks are about ready to break in half by now. So have a good night. I appreciate you hanging out. So anyhow, like I was saying, part of the problem is I have those boxes stacked up right inside my train room, so I can't even really get into them until I get finished with this process, which I haven't been all that motivated to do. So anyhow, I was talking about these files. So I talking to my son-in-law, and yeah, he was happy. Yeah, bring him up, Bob. This is my office. My workshop is actually downstairs. This is my office. The train room is right next door. I actually thought at one time about cutting a hole and running the trains through here, but that would disrupt my office. So I only use this desk, work on stuff on this desk during live streams, and that's just because the computers are here and cameras, and it's just a whole lot easier. Lots of stuff I won't do here because I don't really want to make a complete mess out of my office. Not that I need any help with that. Let's see. And so the layout, like who had just asked that, Derek, the layout is, like I said, it's 9 foot by 11 feet, and it goes around the room. That's what the glide up gate is for, so I can get in and out of it. And there's Chris, the model train aficionado. Good to see you, Chris. Glad you could make it. And the problem with the HO layout is the room is not big enough for what I want it for the layout that I want, and I tried to do too much with the space that I have. So it's partially the real estate problem, partially my problem. I will at some point get back to it. It's just like I said, I get spurts of motivation, and then I look around and figure, this layout's never going to be what I want it to be, and then I talk myself into being disgusted. Oh, thank you, Dirk. Yeah, you know what? Of the everything about that layout, that's the one thing that I actually like. James, the N scale layout is a hollow core door, so it's 28 inches wide and a little bit shorter than a normal 6'8" door. I think it's probably about 6 feet. And let's see, Trackside Mike said he had a question, but I didn't see the question. So go ahead, Mike, shoot. Yeah, you're right, JP. The room is never big enough. His 2-car garage has closed-in on man scale layout. Gotcha. Sounds like a problem. Yeah, Rodney, it's a problem. Unfortunately, with the layout of this house, there's no solution to it other than to stop whining about it and just finish the layout. Bob's space is too big. Well, and he says if he tried to fill it with trains, he would die before I'm done. Well, you know what? In a kind of morbid sense, that's part of the idea. I mean, the one thing that I would hate is actually to be finished with the layout. Because then all you can do is run trains. And not that there's anything wrong with running trains, but I enjoy building the layout. I enjoy the scenery. I enjoy adding the detail. I enjoy all of that. So yeah, I would want one. My ideal layout space would probably be somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 square feet. I would build no helixes, no multiple levels, just one level. I built the helix and the 2 levels before, and I'm really not a fan of a multi-level layout that plays some tunes. I'm not a fan of the multi-level layout. None of the levels are at the ideal height. So you're either too low or it's too high. And if I build it, at the perfect height for me, then it's not ideal for anybody else. JP had a friend who began building in the 50s and was operated by the mid-60s. Did operations into the 90s and became planners. Yeah, okay. That's right. Rodney, die doing something you love doing, and that's really the idea here. JP, I'm not really a big into operations guy. I would like my ideal layout would allow for some operations, but it's not going to be big operating sessions. I'm not going to have lots of people over to run operating sessions. I mean, the people, there'll be a few people that get invited over, but yeah, I'm kind of a lone wolf. All right, James, I can rest now. Hey, thanks, buddy. And Daryl's layout is done for Halloween with all the spider webs over. Cool. All right, Dave has HO on top of O scale layout, about a foot of space between. That's cool. Thanks, Dave. Carolina Foothills, I appreciate it, man. And yep, I did manage to babble on for the rest of the hour. Thanks to you folks for the questions. Yeah, you're right, JP. Even a couple of people makes it fun, and I will have a couple people over. But like I said, it's not going to be a regular thing. I've always been something of a loner. Not that I'm antisocial or anything. Thank you, Chuck. But I just I do things my own way in my own time, and that's pretty much the way it's always been. Darryl, it's been a year since you've run trains. Wow. All right, so folks, that's about it for me. Mike, Trenkside Mike, you never did ask the question unless I missed it. If you did have a question, go ahead and ask away before you're like me, JD. Yeah, I mean, everything about my life has always been very solitary, I guess. So, Bob, thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the questions. Let's see. That's right. I was just about to say that, Dave. Next week, Sad Trek Sunday will be on DB Tech's channel. David. Oh, how big is the layout, John? Okay, Mike, got you. James, thank you for hanging out with me for an hour. Yeah, David at DB Tech's got next Sunday, and he's got something special planned. I think it'll be a good show. I'm not going to give anything away. I'll leave that up to Dave, but you should look out for it. Thank you, Tom Grassi. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate everybody coming and hanging out and chatting. And I'll see you, I think, tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken, is James at Dundas Junction. If I'm wrong, James, please correct me. And let's see, Tuesday night should be Steve Childers. So I will see. Okay, yep, James is live tomorrow. Very good, 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'll see everybody there or at somebody stream during the week, and I'll be back next month. So thank you all, and have a great night.